We've journeyed over to Silver Run Forest. Right, let's see if we can find the sawmill where we need to drop off the Forestry Commission's machinery. Find a nice spot for some breakfast. Hang on a second. Noah? I could have sworn that was Noah. Maybe it was someone who bared a bit of a likeness but was not actually Noah. It's the sheriff. Could you bring back a delivery of cars instead? Collect the cars from the rail yard. They're getting dropped off at 3 p.m. But we're good to set off now. Goodbye to Silver Run Forest. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the American Dream, and we are back at Riverbend Springs. I've just managed to complete the journey from Silver Run Forest in the Mack truck, and we have arrived, and I'm going to be turning into the dealership, which is where we need to unload the cars. Now, unfortunately, it is past 6 o'clock, so the dealership has closed, and because we're in October now, it does get dark quite early. So what I'm going to need to do, well, I can see the Volvo there, hopefully that has been repaired now, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to park up the truck just down the side of the road here, and we're just going to have a little bit of a kip in the cab, the sleeper cab of the Mack truck, and hopefully we can get these cars unloaded in the morning and head off back home. We've got our pickup parked up at the little depot where we got the recovery truck, but the Mack has made it, and it was absolutely fantastic to drive back to Riverbend. It's yeah, very smooth and nice to drive, but yes, it is nice to be back in Riverbend, although it was a lovely trip to Silver Run. So I think I might pop into the gas station, grab some snacks and some food, but yeah, it's been another long journey, so I think we will get an early night. Oh god, I slept for quite a while. It's very comfortable in the back of this sleeper cab. It's got all the modern amenities, which is nice. I can turn the light off, climb back into the front seat, and we can get to unloading. So I need to start the engine, so we have got the ability to control the hydraulics on the ramp. And we can unfold the rear ramps of the trailer. We're going to have to unload the bottom first, so we can then unload the top. So I think the Kubota is first, and then we'll unload the rest of the lower deck and then move on to the upper deck. So let's hop in and we can get to unloading this little beast. Now of course these are new cars that have been ordered to Riverbend. They don't even have any license plates on them. That's how new they are. So I imagine they've been ordered by various people around Riverbend. I think what we'll do is we'll put each one into its own little parking bay, and yeah, then we'll knock on the dealership door, make sure that they are aware that we have completed the delivery. Right, one thing I did want to show you is just how nice this classic car sounds. This what looks like a Mustang. So let's hop in and get it fired up. Oh yeah, got some beef to it, some gargle. Oh yeah, better pop it in reverse so I don't knock the bumper into the diesel estate that is in front of it. Cool, this sounds like an absolute beast. Purrs. There we go, get this parked up. I wonder who's ordered this lovely car. Hopefully we get to see it driving around Riverbend in the future. Right, there's nothing to it but to get the rest of the cars unloaded, so leave that with me, and hopefully it won't take us too long. And there we go, all the vehicles dropped off, and I realised after I'd parked them all that seems a shame to have them facing in towards the garage doors. We want to showcase them, so I have turned them around, which didn't take me too long, but what a lovely selection of vehicles that we have delivered here to Riverbend Springs. Right, I'm just going to knock on the dealership door and let them know that it's been unloaded and they're all in the forecourt. Excellent. Well, yep, they have taken delivery and acknowledged that we have unloaded and delivered all the cars in good condition, which is nice. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to park up the Mack truck and the vehicle transporter over where the recovery truck is, in the little Riverbend town council, or whatever you want to call it, yard is. Seems to be where they collect the municipal equipment. So this can go over there as well. Now I wonder what the fate of the Volvo is that we recovered. Has been a little while since we've been away at Riverbend, so I think hopefully it is repaired and will be on its way back to Silver Run soon. There we go. This seems to be the dumping ground for trucks and all sorts. Our pickup is still in the garage, thank goodness. Right, what I'll do is I will turn this truck around and get it parked up somewhere suitable. There we go. I think this looks fairly suitable. Fantastic. Oh, I didn't even realise that. I think this trailer has got some beacons. Yes, it does. All that time we didn't have the joy of green flashing beacons. But never mind. And we can stash the keys back under the wheel arch like we found them. Fantastic. Right, I seem to remember that we pinched this high vis from the cubby hole on the recovery track, so we will get that put back and change back into our attire. There we go. It is starting to get into the colder months, so we've donned the jacket again. And we can get back in the trusty pickup. Has felt like a little while since we drove this. And I think we probably need to head over to the sheriff to arrange our money situation. We are, of course, owed some money for the delivery of the forestry equipment back to Silver Run, and then the return trip with the vehicle load. So I know that we were due 15,000 for the outbound journey. I'm not expecting maybe as much for the return, but hopefully something. Let's head over to the sheriff's office and see what he's got for us. Now, I have not forgotten that we have got some work to do on the farm. We needed to do some fertilizing spreading, so I am going to have to see to that. And I hope I've not left it too late that we're going to be damaging the crop. We'll have to see what we can get to do the fertilizing spreading. Might need to chat to our good old friend Walter, see if he's got any advice. But yeah, we need to get our money sorted out first of all, because of course we were hoping to raise enough money that we could buy Walter's shed land area off him, like we discussed a couple of weeks back. So let's get parked up, and hopefully we're going to have the 50,000 or thereabouts to buy that off Walter. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you? Yeah, we're all good, thank you. The trip to Silver Run actually gave me a good amount of time to do some thinking. I think I'm going to take Walter up on his offer of something. But yeah, everything's sorted, so can we expect our payment? Yep, 15,000 as agreed for the outbound journey. Okay, and 5,000 for the return. Well, I would have hoped for a little bit more. There was quite a bit of effort loading up the vehicles and unloading them again, but for our first trucking and logistics debut, that's not too bad. 20,000. Thanks, Sheriff. Yeah, we had a good time up at Silver Run, thanks, but we never get a SWAT. I could have sworn I saw... Oh, never mind. Just chatting nonsense, Sheriff. But yeah, thanks for that. We will be on our way. Cha-ching! 20,000 for all of our logistics work. And although I feel like we're a little bit short-changed for the return journey, I think that's pretty good, and has put us in a good position to buy Walter's land from him. So I'm super chuffed about that. I think we'll head over to Walter's now and go confirm that we're wanting to buy the other section of land where our shared shed is. So that'll mean we own the remainder of the shed and the land around it. We won't own the field to the side of it, but I'm thinking that could be a potential avenue and extra thing that we could look to buy in the future. Now, I was chatting away to the sheriff there and caught myself before I unveiled that we thought we saw Noah at Silver Run. Of course, it was a bit of a shock to us to see, I guess, what resembled Noah, but it was very much someone who looked identical to Noah, so much so that I've been thinking about it a lot, and I don't know, could Noah have disappeared to Silver Run because he lost the sawmill here and was in trouble or something along those lines? Who knows, but I caught myself before I said too much to the sheriff. I don't feel like it was my place to share unconfirmed reports with the sheriff. Of course, I didn't get to find out the identity of that person. It could have been just someone who resembled Noah, or even a relative of Noah, who knows. So yeah, it's probably best I kept my mouth shut and kept it quiet, as I'd only be causing a lot of problems and probably unnecessary attention. But here we go. We will head to Walter's farm. It is just over the way here, and it's always nice when we get to catch up with Walter. I hope he is in. Ah, here he is. I see him. Hey Walter, how's tricks? I'm glad to hear you're doing well. We're not too bad, thanks. We're recently back from some adventures to Silver Run Forest and back. We've been doing some logistics work for the sheriff. But good news, it's allowed us to earn enough money to buy that piece of land from you. I'm assuming that you still want to sell it to me. Ah, excellent, excellent. That's really good, Walter. So, yeah, here's the money. I have had some thoughts, and I think that long shed I'm possibly going to demolish so that we have a nice living space to build our farmhouse. And I guess I better check in with the town hall folk that I am okay to build on that land. So, how's Katie? I've not heard much from her lately. Didn't even hear from her when the explosion happened. It's surprising, really. Oh gosh, she had her motorbike stolen. Oh, well, yeah, no wonder we didn't hear from her. I know that she liked her motorbike. I wonder who would have stolen her motorbike. There's not many thefts around Riverbend. I say that, but we've had a barn fire, I've been hit by a random person in a bike helmet, and then my cabin exploded. Well, maybe we'll check in on Katie soon and try and cheer her up. But always a pleasure doing business with you, Walter. I will see you soon. Ta-ra, Walter. See you soon. Well. We've purchased the land off Walter, and that money was easy come, easy go. We've obviously paid Walter the 50,000 for that land as we agreed, but the bank account is still okay. We are down to 9,911. I'm conscious that we have a bit of a loan outstanding that we took out with the bank to buy the wood cutting station and saw, so we've probably got to pay a bit of that off. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll go to the bank and see if I can pay off half, and I'll also inquire about some permission to build on the land that we have purchased from Walter. I probably should have checked that first, if I'm honest, but I'm assuming that because there are other buildings that we're good to buy, or build rather, something residential. And of course we will be building a farmhouse using the building materials we have built up over time. Right, we will do a very quick pit stop at the bank, and yeah, hopefully we can pay off a bit of the loan and inquire about planning permission. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I would like to repay half of our bank loan, please, if that's possible. Yep, $5,000. Here you go. Fantastic. Right. Secondly, I wanted to inquire about some planning permission. I know this is the bank, but I think you're responsible for enabling certain plans for plots of land. Yes, that's right. It's the plot next to Field 32. We'd like to build a farmhouse and also demolish the long shed that is currently there from the previous owner. Okay, $100 for the planning application. We'll get that submitted right away, and hopefully we will hear back soon. But in the meantime, we're okay to start work at risk. Well, you've been very helpful. Thanks very much. Good day. Well, there we go. 5,000 down and another 100 for a planning application. And yeah, I'm hoping that we are going to get accepted on that planning application. It would be rather disappointing if we weren't. But I'm going to be cracking on with work because we don't have any sort of living situation and we need to get building. So I think we will plough ahead as if we were to get planning permission. Right, we need to sort out our crop situation around getting it fertilised. So I'm going to head to the dealership and see if there's anything appropriate that we can use to fertilise that land. Hello, it's me again. So I've been chatting to the chaps at the dealership, and it might look a little bit basic, but they have suggested for the size of land we have, this manual lizard spreader will be perfect to spread fertiliser and also lime on the small field we have. It's going to save us buying something big and expensive, which we don't really have the money for. And it can take 40 litres of fertiliser. So yeah, we'll have to do some refills, but that's okay. So I think we're going to give this a go. It costs $200, so nice and cheap. Now, what's not so cheap is solid fertiliser. We of course lost our previous fertiliser to the cabin explosion. I think that's what contributed to the large explosion. So we need to rebuy a big bag. That's going to cost us $1,920 for 1,000 litres, but we've got no other choice. Now, I've also been inquiring about something that will help me demolish a building, and they have suggested this jackhammer. So I think we're going to give it a go. It's $1,500, which is really going to make the bank account quite low, but I'm hoping we might be able to recycle some of the scrap metal from that shed that we need to demolish, and we can get the foundations out using that. So we're going to buy this. Oh, the bank account has really taken a hit, but hopefully these are going to be worthwhile expenditures. The dealership have loaded up the big bag of fertiliser for us, which is handy. And here is our little fertiliser spreader, so we can get up like so, and yeah, wheel it about, which is quite nifty. I'm hoping it's going to be as easy to push once it is fully loaded. Right, let's get this lifted up into the back of the truck, and yeah, hopefully we will be alright with that. Now, this jackhammer we want to make good use of. It's not on, but it looks like it's on. It's shaking around all over the place. So yeah, I guess we'll take this back with us, and hopefully we can use it to demolish that long shed that is up by the land. There we go. I think that's all stashed in there nicely, so let's get it strapped up for safety. We can hop back in the pickup, get the rear closed up, and be on our way. Now, it feels to some extent like we're always making money and then spending money, but such is the nature of starting out on our American dream at Riverbend. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to get some scrap metal return money from taking down that shed. It is built of metal, so yeah, there should be a lot to give to the scrap merchant, which I'll have to drop a message to. And maybe if we've got some more building materials made from our little sawmill, we can sell the wood to Craig, the playground maker, again, as he paid quite handsomely. But here we go, we made it home. Well, not home, because our home is currently a smouldering pile of ash, but we've made it back to our little patch of paradise. Hopefully everything is as we left it before we left for Silver Run. But we now own this whole area of land, the whole shed, the patch of grass where our logs currently are, where Walter was kindly letting us stash the logs, this long metal shed, the land behind it up to somewhere in the tree line, and I think we also own this shed here, which we can use as a garage in the future, which will be nice. The pickup will have somewhere nice to park, but yeah, we'll have a lot more space for the growth of our farm equipment. I think Walter will probably come and pick up his tractor and trailer at some point, but yeah, I'm not going to haste him to get that removed because he's always been very generous to us, so to be honest with you, he can use it as much as he likes. Right, I got a little bit excited because owning new land is always a fun time, but we have got to get the fertilizer spreading done for our wheat field. I think it's wheats that we drilled. It's been a little while since we did do it, but yes, we want to get those. We want to get that fertilized, so we need the big bag and the spreader down here, and I'll have to just drop off the big bag from the back of the pickup, which is fine. And let's inspect our field. Oh dear, we've had some weeds creep in. Might have to message Stan, I think it was, to see if I can borrow his sprayer again. But yeah, here we go. We have got our wheat. The moisture is looking a little bit low, so that's potentially going to impact us a little bit. Hopefully it will rain. But yes, we want to make sure that is fertilized. It's only fertilized 50%, so we want to get that up to the max. Right, spreader unloaded. I'm hoping we can just fill up from the pickup. That'll be nice and easy. There we go, 40 litres. So let's head on down to the end here, and I'm hoping we'll be able to do some good spreading. I can't remember what the width of this spreader is, but I'm hoping it's going to be okay. And we shouldn't, maybe I'm speaking too soon, be damaging the field as we drive through, because that would be rather annoying if we were. No, we are not. But there we go. We can spread fertilizer. It's going to be very difficult to see where I have been and haven't been. But yeah, I can consult the map. But let's get this all covered up. Okay, I think I have covered all of the field. I was just eyeballing it, so we'll have to inspect and see. Just been taking a look and I can see that we've got 100% fertilized in and around the field, so that is pretty good. So we can get the spreader loaded back up now. It's done a grand job, not bad for eyeballing it. And I'm sure there's probably a couple of little patches in there that I've missed, but it's good enough for our little rustic work on our small field. Right, I think it's time to turn attention to demolishing that shed, so we have a good amount of living space. I do want to take up some of the concrete floor as well, because yes, we want that to be a nice space for us to build a farmhouse. Oh, there's a lot of traffic at the moment, so I'm going to have to wait to turn. But getting the wheat field fertilized is one job done, which is nice. Right, let's pull up. We can get the jackhammer out of the pickup and get to work. Right, how do we switch this thing on? Oh, there we go. Oh god, it's very shaky. Right, I guess we get started by taking out the building and then some of the ground around it. Here we go. Ugh. Well, it has been a busy afternoon, but I have demolished the hut, so I can set down the jackhammer. There we go. And it's taken me a rather long time, but I've managed to salvage some of the materials from the hut. We've got some sheets of metal, some rolled up sheets of metal that came from obviously the arched nature of the shed. Got some metal which was used for some of the struts and so forth. The actual struts and the chimneys that were poking out of the top for ventilation. So there is quite a lot of scrap metal. And of course we had to jackhammer the ground as well to break up some of the foundations. So looking a bit rocky, but we have got some stone that we could look to collect up and use to make some more cement if we wanted. Whilst I was doing that, I was thinking maybe we could call up Walter and see if we could borrow his telehandler, that's the thing, and look to get this loaded up. We could also borrow his tractor and trailer, which is over here, which might be quite a good opportunity. And yes, I jackhammered this area, which was concrete, but I'm hoping that this is going to be a nice area for our farmhouse and front yard in the future. So yeah, the whole area is going to transform once we have got our farmhouse built, which is going to take a considerable amount of time, much longer than it took me to demolish this shed. So I'm just going to give Walter a quick text message and see if we can borrow his telehandler. Ah, what an absolute legend. Here he is. Well, Walter has given us the all clear to borrow his telehandler, which is very kind of him. And that's exactly why he will be allowed to use the shed still, even though we own the land. So yeah, what I think I'm going to do is get the telehandler in some decent position and use the tractor with the trailer to load up the stone, and we'll have to deal with that another time because we are running out of time. Oh, and that reminds me, actually, I need to text the scrap merchant, see if they want to pick up any scrap metal today. Alright, whilst we wait for a reply, we can hop in the Challenger and get that into a central position so we can drop the stone off nice and easily. There we go. I think we can park it here, try to keep the stones nicely piled, and the tractor is fairly central, so it would be nice for us to get some loads in there of the stone. Right, let's head into the telehandler. We can use the bucket to pick up the stone, and yeah, might be a fair few trips. Okay, yeah, bucket seems to have a much better capacity than I remember. Better get the beacons on. Not sure who's about, but never know. Right, let's get all this stone loaded into the tractor. And shut it down. Telehandler was a fantastic help there. We owe Walter one for sure. And looks like we've got a partial trailer load of stone that we've picked up. And yeah, we'll have to deposit that stone off so it's not taking up Walter's trailer anymore. But it was nice of Walter to let us borrow that equipment. Right, yeah, the area is cleared of stones. Obviously the ground is a little bit rough and ready. But I'm hoping that we are going to hear from the scrap merchant fairly soon, so they can come and pick up these materials, as yeah, we really want these out of the way. Oh, I think I can hear someone's arrived. Aha! The scrap merchant is here. Excellent. Well, he's going to get busy loading up some of the scrap materials, and we'll see what he's going to pay us for them. Right, that didn't take him long. That's all the scrap collected up. Right, he is heading off, and he said for all the scrap metal, we can get $8,000. It was much more than he was expecting to have to cart away, and I think they're in great need of scrap. So there we go. We have been paid the $8,000 by the scrap merchant for the scrap metal for the shed that we demolished. Oh dear, looks like he forgot to load these. Never mind, I guess we'll discard of them or make some use of them ourselves. Right, there's nothing for it now but to set up the construction site for our farmhouse. And here we go. It has cost $1,000 to set up the construction site, but the mission is now for us to supply this with building materials to start the construction of our farmhouse. So if we take a look, we first of all need 1,000 litres of wood beams, 1,000 litres of planks long, and 1,000 litres of planks. Well, we should be able to supply that, so I think I will hop in the pickup and we can get a trailer filled with that. Now I've quickly just deposited the jackhammer and the spreader into our little shed that we have here, which I think is where we're going to park the pickup once we are done. Let's hop in the pickup and get the trailer so we can get the first load of materials in to build our farmhouse. Let's pick up the trailer. And there we go. That's one lot of beams, one lot of planks long, and one lot of standard planks. So let's get this dropped off into the building site. There we go. They have unloaded. Cool. And I can hear some busy construction work underway. So we've supplied those materials and they are being consumed. I can't see what the progress is, but yeah, we're going to be busy building our farmhouse for the foreseeable, and we'll have to check in to make sure to see if we've got any other materials we need to drop off. But there we go, our farmhouse has finally commenced construction. We still don't have anywhere to live, so I'm going to have to see what we can do for the night. Walter's houseboat is under renovations, so maybe we'll have to check in at Willie's. We'll have to see what we can do. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But all that's left to say is, I hope to see you again next time on the American Dream at Riverbend Springs. And until then, catch you later. Cheers all. Bye bye.